part on your overall body function, and the lungs are very affected. So, for example, people who are heavy smokers, all right? And note, I'm not identifying what they're smoking, okay? Because when I say heavy smokers, it's smokers of anything, all right? I don't know if you guys, you know, like a huge thing now is vaping. I don't know if anybody's keeping up with the research on that and what it's doing to the lungs. It's worse than what the cigarettes do. Just, I mean, it's major issues coming from vaping. But smoking, anything, okay? One of the things that tends to happen, they can end up with emphysema. They can end up with chronic bronchitis. We have other issues that show up like COPD, asthmas, okay? Lots of things that come about with the lungs. Black lung disease is the one from the miners in the coal, you know, in the coal fields, in the coal mines. Anything that is going to restrict the circulation to the lungs. Cor pulmonale is affecting my right ventricle. Why?
That's what pumps to the pulmonary.
That is the ventricle that pumps the blood to the pulmonary circuit. So if you see on somebody's chart, cor pulmonale, that's what it's telling you. It's telling you that they have issues with their right ventricle, that it has failed. But there are a lot of other things that are showing up at the same time, because people who are going to have that issue, they're actually going to be they're most likely going to be on oxygen. They're going to probably have a lot of swelling throughout, you know, different parts of their body. Brain function can be affected. I mean, there are just numerous things that happen for people who end up with lung disorders, that are restrictive lung disorders. So now, if we have that heart, that's the pump, because that's what we call it the pump, because it's actually pumping the fluid into my vessels. My vessels are this huge highway system. I don't know if we even know how many miles of vessels we have throughout the body. There are a lot of predictions out there, but because we can't, I mean, it's very difficult for us to know at that microscopic level, at the capillary beds, how much is present. But we know a lot about our larger vessels. The ones that we can see, like the ones that are being represented in the models that are back there. You can see how they're representing them going up into the neck and down through the abdomen and all that sort of stuff. Because those are our large and medium and getting to smaller, but it's at that microscopic level that we really see activity occurring. When we look at the vessels, arteries, veins, capillaries, all right, one thing that I've tried to continuously point out is the capillary bed and how we have the arterial side, the venous side. The structure of these vessels is different though. When we look at the structure of these vessels, our arteries versus a vein. What do you notice about the smooth muscle layer?
Just thinner on the top. So in the middle.
Thinner where?
On the inside.
It's definitely thinner in the veins than the arteries. Do you notice anything else?
artery-five?
Oh, because they're trying to represent the difference. Because arteries we tend to associate with that red blood and the veins with the blue. But do you happen to notice anything else structure-wise? Kayla?
It's in the middle.
They're both going to be in the middle, that little muscle part, the smooth muscle. But because we'll have it, like everything else that we've talked about, we'll have 3 layers. We'll have an outer layer, the middle layer, and the inner layer. Alex?
And is that the valves?
Valves. Note, arteries, no. Veins, yes. Big reason why, which we'll get to. One of the things about the differences between the two, note that they're trying to let us know that the smooth muscle found in the arteries and the veins contains elastic fibers, very high in elastic fibers. The reason for that, it allows for expansion and recoil. One of the reasons for that, these vessels need to constrict and dilate. Another reason for that, on the arterial side, they are under pressure. Yes, and every time I say that, the song comes to mind. Under pressure. They are under pressure. Veins, they're not. What? That means on the arterial side, if they're under pressure, blood's getting pumped to the tissues. But if on my venous side, there's no pressure, how's the blood moving in my veins? Oh, think about it. Take a break. Be back at 10:30.